investing the SAP, yeah, we have to consider that we have to invest more money for SAP implementation in our company. Then this is also from SAP success factor. Yeah, last week our one of our participants asking or sharing whether SR Digital can be used for SR Analytics. Yes, we can use this. It's very easy to check how many employees that we have, turnover rate, and also internal fee rate, hiring versus exit, and many others data analytics that we can produce from this platform. Then also, yeah, we also use SAP because in my company is globally operated in 40 countries. So we decided to use SAP, and we can put the compensation data in this platform. Yeah, just to monitor and to control the numbers or compensation related to each employee globally. So SR can can produce and do the analytic when the both of our management requested SR to provide the data of compensation. So this is easy to use this platform. And this is this is not SAP. This is a local platform that we use in my company, leave management system. So I decided this 2 years ago when we still do the manual leave recording, and I found that many human error happening because people, when they requested leave to their manager, they did not submit that leave to SR. So SR did not record. And at the end, when we come to the annual report, we always do the false report. So I decided proposing this leave management system in our company. Okay, I think that's some sharing regarding some application or platform that I'm using, Rita. So maybe we can do the small group discussion again, and I need all participants to share if there are any expectation of facing any problem when we start our digitalization. That's
okay. Thank you, Mr. Bamban. So if that's the case, then let's have our breakout sessions on the 3 questions that are posed to all of you prior to the session today. May I read? Actually, there are 3 questions. I would like to read them out now. The first one is, what are the key challenges that you have faced in the implementation of HR-related digital projects? Okay. Secondly, the second question is, how did you overcome these challenges? Thirdly, the third question, if you could start over, what would you do differently? Okay, so I'm going to put you into different groups so that you can discuss among your groups. Then after that, we came up with a discussion, sharing on what you have discussed in your groups, okay? So you can have, I think we can allow to have maybe 2 to 3 persons from each group to give answers to these 3 questions. Okay, so I will now put everybody in the.
How many breakout rooms, Rita?
We have 3.
3. Okay.
No, okay. Now I cannot find the breakout rooms button. That's very strange. It was here and then it disappeared. Let me see. But by the way, there is a new member who has joined us today because due to family issues, she could not join us in the first session. And I would like to welcome Marie, who has joined us today, just for this session and then the ongoing sessions. So Marie, taking this opportunity, would you like to introduce you to ourselves? Because last time, the first session, everybody have made their brief introduction of themselves. So Marie, just tell us your name, the company that you work for, and also your job position, and also your expectations on this session. Okay, Marie, go ahead. You have to unmute yourself, Marie. Can
All right.
she? Okay.
Marie, we could not hear you.
To unmute yourself. Very strange. I cannot find the breakout sessions.
Rita, you need to set up the breakout room.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's already here.
We hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Marie, can you say something to us?
Okay. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Rita. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Marie. So I'm originally from the Philippines, but currently working here in Cambodia for 12 years now. So I work as an HR manager here in one of the hotels in Cambodia, Independence Hotel by Dara. So my expectations, I would like to apologize to Mr. Bangbang. I wasn't able to attend the first session, but I'm happy to be here. So my expectation is to learn as much as possible about HR digitalization, which is a very, very current topic and which is very interesting because currently our hotel, we also plan to do digitalization since we need to upgrade our system. We started with other hotels already, so but because of the current situation in COVID, so we put it on hold. But it's a good experience, so I would get more ideas on how to process for this one. So really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Marie. By the way, Marie is our core member of our executive committee at HHRM, and he's our copywriter. He can write things nicely. Thank you, Marie.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let's move. I'm going to move everybody to a breakout rooms. So we will have 10 minutes discussion, okay, for all questions. Okay, so I have an assigned these two, right? So, no. Breakout rooms. Oh, okay, so we have, three members here, okay? So shall we, Mr. Satil, Kakader, and also Elsa. Okay, can you hear me? So you can
Yeah, we can hear you.
simply unmute ourselves and
Yeah.
then test on these three questions. So who would like to start? Mr. Satil, you like to start?
Yeah, sure. So basically, the challenge that we face on a regular basis is one that we do have a particular age group that actually faces difficulties adopting to new challenges like new technology and new setups like softwares and everything. So making those people understand what we are planning to do and what kind of technology are we using and what are the necessities of these, that is one challenge. Another challenge that we frequently face is whenever we create a software or anything like that, when we do the beta testing and the UAT, we can see that there are some people missing in the process, and we see that with when we start, there is no particular guideline that we follow. The software engineer prepares a particular software, and then when we go to user acceptance test, which is UAT, we see a lot of frauds, and we have to fix it again and again and again to make a perfect software. So the solution to this problem would be like, when we plan to prepare any particular software, we sit with the software engineer who does the planning and everything, and we give proper directions about how we want our software to be, what are the benefits we want, how are the reporting systems that we want from the software, and then we do prepare it and do UAT and everything before making it live. So that is another challenge that we frequently face, and we can solve it by anyhow. And things that are like to start over, say for example, we do have a lot of processes. Sometimes software using a particular system actually uses multiple phases or multiple processes. Uh, Say for example, if in my previous office we used to have ERP, which actually increased our processes. So that actually increased our handling time or the usage time that we used to have. So if I was given an opportunity, I would eliminate the abundant processes or the processes that are not, up for it. So I would decrease the processes and make it as simple as possible for the user. That is my take.
How about Kakada? What do you think? Can you hear me? You have to unmute yourself. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Rita and Sati. That's really difficult for me. The connections, it's been very bad, and so I could not hear Sati clearly.
Okay.
Yeah, my apologies for that. Yeah. That is quite difficult for Sati to repeat again, I guess.
I can repeat the core points if you want.
Okay.
One was like, it was difficult for a certain age group. Say, for example, people mostly who are seniors, they do not like to adopt with the technology. So it is difficult to
they are
train
not
them.
familiar with the new.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. That was one. And another one is when software engineer designs a particular software, there are too many layers. So it is difficult and sometimes it increases the processes. So I'd like to shorten that. So that was another. And sometimes the core people who are responsible for doing a particular job are not involved in the software making processes. So that is another challenge that we face.
Kakada, can you hear what Satel mentioned? Kakada? The connection is low. Hello? Kakada? Hello? Can you hear me?
Rita, I can hear you, but I guess the line is out. Yes.
Kakada, can you hear me? Hear us? Kakada?
He's back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry again, Sati and Rita. It's been really bad here. I have no idea today. Yeah, that's my apology. It's my sincere apologies for this. Okay, and so I think that Rita, you can go ahead with Sati with this one. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so Mr. Satil, you mentioned about two issues that you had, right, with your HR-related digitalization projects, right? Am I correct? Two issues here, right?
Yeah, basically two challenges, right?
One is too many layers, right?
Yeah, the processes are too much for us to handle.
But what you mentioned about these too many layers, is it related to the management approval layers or the layers that you have decided in your system?
Yeah, sometimes it's management approval layers, sometimes it is the system itself is too complicated for us to understand.
Okay.
There are sometimes unnecessary steps that are not required or not we are not used to of it in our previous system.
I see. Then who is it? A HRIS? Is that the Human Resources Information System or another?
Uh, we used both human resources information system and ERP, enterprise resource system. So I was talking about the transformation to ERP.
Okay, so when you talk about this complication, very complicated, right, in terms of many layers in the system, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it refers to the workflow of your company. So before you design the system, you have to design on the workflow. What would be the steps that you go through? Say, for example, if you want to do a recruitment, okay, you want to start your recruitment process. So a lot of time you start with approval from the company, whether you can hire that position, is a replacement or new position, or this is, yeah. So you have, the company has to make a decision. So firstly, you need to get a, right? Then after that, once has been approved, then you start contacting different recruitment like agents, or you can place your ad to recruitment portal and so forth. And that's that. This is step two. And then after that, you also want to use the system to shortlist the candidates for you. Then after that, all the records for the interview also be there. So along the way, your company has to set forth the steps, the workflow before you set before you. This is the module, right? So when you mentioned it's complicated, I think it relates to the steps that you have to go through in your organization. And you think that, okay, I'm the leader of this system, and then you want to simplify the procedure and also the work steps. Maybe it's time for you to streamline it. Otherwise, you follow the usual way of doing it. Maybe in normal cases, you have to go through 20 steps. Now with the system, you still have to go through 20 steps. So it makes no difference, but you just automate it. Right?
Exactly.
So I think first of all,
the problem was actually when we designed the workflow, most of us were not involved. I was talking about my previous company where we had around 22 recruiters and only 3 or 4 of them were involved in the workflow design process. So when we tested it, like when we did an UAT, so we found many flaws over the workflow, and we had to change it again and again, and we had to make a lot of correction to before making it live. So that is one challenge. Like when you're planning or designing a particular workflow, you have to have the right people on your side, who can understand the entire process and help you through the process and prepare it in the proper manner.
yeah, I think you already mentioned about the way of overcoming it, right? I think we need to have stakeholders, those who are involved in the projects, in the project team. You mentioned about the 20-something recruiters. You only have 2 or 3 people representing the recruiters, but these 2 or 3 people, can they represent the issues that they all face by the recruiters? So I think it's a matter of communication and how to choose the recruiters, and also the role of this representative. Are they speaking for all the recruiters, or they only speaking for themselves? I think it's very important, right? So I think just to conclude, then if you are going to form a task force for this purpose, you need to have people representing each interest parties, like representing those who are from the recruiting side, or also from the user side and so forth, in order to consider all their concerns before you can come up with the proper workflow. And at the end of the day, you want to simplify the process, right? Not to complicate the process. So the role of the workforce is very important in meeting this purpose. Okay, my input. What is your second challenge?
Sorry?
What is your second challenge? You mentioned 2 challenges, right? 2 issues.
Another one was training the particular age group who are not that adaptable with the technology.
Oh, I see. That one I leave it to Kakada.
Okay.
So,
Kara can hear us, I guess.
yeah, right now I can hear that. I just would like to make it clear. And so the second challenge of yours is about the age group, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so how many staff in your company, by the way?
Basically, I was talking about my previous company, which had around 300 HR personnel.
Okay. And how many staff for the HR team?
Actually, that was the size of HR alone.
you only you the HR alone.
Yeah, the total size of company was like 150,000.
Oh, really? And so that you are Superman then, and you are only you, and then you can work with the 300 people.
Yeah, it was difficult.
And could you be more specific with the age group? And so it means that they are sorry to say that they are old and then they don't want to learn new things. This is what you mean?
This is the unfortunate situation. Not that they're not interested to learn something. I don't see that. But the problem was they are not familiar with the technology or the technological changes. So that makes it difficult for them to understand what is going on. That makes it difficult for them to see the bigger picture, you know. So I won't blame them. It's not their fault. Eventually, it might be the that we couldn't train them properly, but we face challenges when we deal with such situation.
Hmm.
So that was
Okay.
a challenge for me.
I see. I think that is not a use thing for every organization because they believe that they live in a comfort zone. And so it's some sort of the, that they do need to go with the incentive also with the, discipline actions as well. And so they, the better way that you have to force them to learn is on these things.
Absolutely.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Um, I could you be more specific about the age group? I mean that how old are they? And let's say from 45 to 60 or something like that. That they don't
Yeah.
really agree
Around
with
that.
you
Uh,
around that.
Mostly
Okay,
we had around 10 to 15 people who were around 50 plus.
I see. What
You
is
know,
their reason?
these people have been working in our organization for a long time, like mostly more than 20 years or 30 years. And in terms of education, they're not that much qualified compared to the others. So it is difficult for us to make them familiar with the new technologies or new ideas. Sometimes they do not want to adopt with the situation as well. Sometimes they think their older system worked better than what we offer. So there is a typical mentality where they do not want changes. They resist to changes. So
Hmm.
this thing happens usually. So we face a particular challenge regarding that. But you have to push it and make them understand and believe that the change is for good. So that is how we dealt with it. But the problem remained for some persons, but mostly it was dealt with.
Okay. And so how many times have you already met them in order to motivate them to work with that new change or the company?
We had to do one-to-one sessions with them multiple times. See, whenever we change something, we have a huge training sessions, like a training session with 15 to 20 members. So when we train them
Hmm.
in a group, it is difficult for them to understand. So what we did is we did some one-to-one sessions. Uh, we gave them some on-the-job trainings on how to work on these particular systems, and eventually they got used to of it, and there was no other option given. But it took them some time, and it was challenging for them as well. As I said before, they're not familiar with the technology, so that was a particular challenge that we faced, but we dealt with it.
Okay. It sounds very right that your company, they have their own vision to robotize. I mean, the robotizations for your company. I still cannot catch. It's only related to HR system or the whole system of the company.
I would say the HR system, because uh, in HR we had around 8 to 9 different systems that we had to use, uh, from
Mm.
HRIS to ERP, and we had some homegrown softwares as well, online based softwares. So when I'm talking about the age group, it is mostly about the people in HR, because as it was in an NGO, in other functions, we didn't need the use of technology that much. When we needed it, we applied it, and the result was okay. But in when in HR we applied the same technologies, or sometimes we bought something different, then we saw these challenging situations, like particular age group does not want to change or adopt.
That to me, I used to have experiences, and I still believe that, that the first one is about our visions in our companies, and so that we have to make it clear with all of them. And the second thing, like you already did, just on job training. And the third one, it's based on our approach. It's all about the motivations and the way that we educate them to try to motivate them to adapt to the new system. This is the thing that I've been doing. I'm not sure about your company, but this is what I used to do. We try to motivate them, and then we try to, weigh down the difference between pros and cons. And also, that's one thing that is very important thing, that you have to be more like serious. And so if they could not adapt well to the new system, they will be fired. This is the thing that we used to do,
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
So I think we are done with the share with the breakout session. And so, Mr. Sutil, did Kakada answer your question?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Maybe while we are waiting for the other two groups, okay, let me have them join us as well, the other two groups. So, okay, so they will be joining us in 1 minute. Okay. So Foster, you are done with the discussion with your group. Foster?
Yes, we have a very interesting group because we, apart from me, we have 4 participants. 3 out of them, they all had issue in the key challenge is to recruit people, and then the COVID-19 make this challenge even more difficult because they all share that they would prefer to have really face-to-face physical meeting instead of using Zoom or WebEx. Yeah. So and then so they will talk about that, and then maybe it is the common challenge among HR professionals.
Okay, very good. Okay, so how did you go with the discussions of different groups? So we will find it out. Okay, so who would like to talk first about the questions that we are supposed to discuss in each of the groups? Who would like to speak first? Okay, you just show your hand so that we can unmute you. Anybody?
So how about I ask Mr. Indra?
Indra. Okay, Indra, yes.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, we are listening.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Rinda, Miss Rita, Mr. Bambang, and Mr. Foster. I'd like to ask about how we calculate the return on investment if we use the digitalization process. For example, in my case is when I use LinkedIn Recruiter as the sourcing of other candidate, my boss has challenged me to create the calculation for the ROI. What I'm doing is I only doing a simple calculation, but maybe from all of you, all of the professional in HR could share me how we calculate the ROI for a better improvement in the future. Thank you.
Wow, that is a great question. Anybody can answer this question? How to calculate the ROI, right? By using the system. Anybody can hear? Do we have any recruiting expert here?
What is that? Sorry, ROI. What is the full word of that?
Return on investment.
Return on investment.
And yeah, depend on recruitment. How do you come up with the figure? How much you have spent on this recruitment position
Okay.
of positions? I think it's a very practical question, right? As a management, we need to know whether we spend the money wisely, or whether it's really value for money to hire this person. And for me, I have to we have to come up with the ROI on different job portals or different channels that we use on recruitment. Then after we come up with that, oh, it seems that we should use this job portal more because it's more economical for us to hire many positions, but with a limited amount of money. This is how we come up with the ROI. But at the moment, we do it manually. That means we do our manual calculation. But it's good that we can use the system to do it, right? Mr. Bamban, can we use the system to do it? What is your current system? Can your current system help doing that?
Oh, yeah. Actually, it's very interesting question. ROI for digital investment. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Specific for Mr. Indra question related the request from his boss to provide the ROI data. Yeah. When we can present the investment cost and compare to the result of our process, our service, then it would be easy to provide. So, for example, like this, when you spend money for registering a premium LinkedIn account, then how many times you can get the candidates from that platform. For example, I spend premium account for LinkedIn, and then from that platform I can get more candidates, and then I can decide until the final job offer. So it would be it can be said that we can get the result from this activity, from this decision. That's from my understanding. But again, yes, it's giving such number related to the ROI, as long as this is not a salesperson, or maybe you have to hire non salesperson. It's a very difficult, to be honest, for me to submit. If you can get okay, for example, like this, if you have to hire a salesperson, then it's very easy to set up the KPI. So you can get how many sales number that you can get compared to the investment. But if you hire a non salesperson, for example, SR, so yeah, for me it's very difficult to present ROI with numbers. But what we can inform to our management that using this platform, we can get very easy the candidate until candidates accept and sign the job offer. That's from my opinion, Rita. Maybe someone else can also give the answer.
Anyone?
Hi, Pak Bambang and Rita. This is Eva. Hi, Indra.
Hi.
Just to comment on the feedback or give feedback to what Indra has asked before, perhaps you could use some of the success factors or indicators to help you get the numbers that you would like to compare between what you have invested from your company side and what has been received from your user slides or for the recruitment part itself. So maybe some of the indicators that you might use are like the turnaround time for the recruitment, or maybe how many applicants, what do you call it, accepting the job offer compared to what has, and then how many people have seen your
Job ad.
ad, yes, the job ad. And then you can also use the attrition rate as your success factors, like how many applicants have been successfully accepted, and the attrition rate from those people, like how many percentage. That's also some of the numbers that you can also show to show the success factors of the ROI. That's just my 5 cents. Thank you.
Good,
Thank you,
right?
Eva.
Now,
I would like to add something with Eva.
Yeah.
That you can do a comparative analysis between the costs of different portals and the using of LinkedIn recruiter account, right? So by doing a cost analysis, you can show what Eva said, the attrition rate one. Another thing is the number of views, how many times the ad has been viewed, number of applicants. So by doing cost based analysis and the following, like number of views, number of applicants, number of the attrition rate, so you can do it by that, you can calculate and find out that.
okay. Any questions? Any answers to this question? If no, then I come up with this question. Since Mr. Indra has mentioned about this ROI, right? He mentioned about the ROI and recruitment. Then I suddenly come up with a question from my boss on ROI on everybody in the organization. How do we make a calculation of it? I think for sales department is easy, right? We always link it to sales revenue and so forth. But for other support functions like HR, finance, this and that, how do we come with the ROI of each position in our company so as to make sure that from the owner's perspective, they will not be losing money for this person for keeping or for keeping this employee in the organization. What is your view? Yeah, he always say that, oh, we have to count the ROI for any position in the organization.
Okay, thank you, Rita.
Yes? Any
Sorry. Could
Yes?
you repeat it?
My question is ROI of any position in the organization. Say, for example, I think for salesperson or salespeople, it's very easy for us to calculate the ROI of having this person working in your organization. Okay, always linked to the sales revenue that this person has generated for the organization. So the organization will come up with the calculation that, okay, with this, we have hired this person, then we end up losing or earning money because of his performance. Okay, for salespeople, it's very easy to come up with a calculation. How about for support organization?
Yeah.
Because how do we do that? Yeah.
Why I ask this? Because as you know, in a recruitment agency, our target is how to get the income, right? Then how do we compare the investment and then compare to the income? So as you know that the owner of the company have a business mindset. How much do I have to spend and how much do I have to get? Maybe I only just using a simple ROI calculation by comparing the spending and with the income. But maybe from all of you guys, the HR person, the HR professionals, I could get more detail or more broader experience in how to calculate the ROI, especially for the position that we could monetize it.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Any input from the other participants?
Yes, Rita, I think Mr. Indra working at Headhunter, right?
Yeah.
I think Headhunter is very easy. You apply, okay, you spend, for example, just example, $1,000 to register. But once one candidate apply, and then you the candidate success to apply, and your client pay the invoice that you generated, then it's done actually. So maybe in 1 month you can get the ROI, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes,
yeah, but in my mind, this is a general for all companies. Very
ROI, yes.
I think can I give a few cents for this one? So for the recruitment, I think because I worked before with a not actually work before, but my friend used to have a recruitment agency. So here in Cambodia. So to calculate the ROI in recruitment, so you have to know how much, okay, you spend for the direct costs, and then how much you spend for the um for the time for the time you spent on hiring, okay, and of course how much you need to you spend for the performance of the new hire, and of course how much on the onboarding and retention program. But of course, for you, since you are a headhunter, so your ROIs calculation stops from when you hand over the employee to the company, right? But of course, you have like a special guarantee of 6 months, that within these 6 months, the person you hire must not resign.
Yes.
Correct? Right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will not get your investment.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So the performance also includes, so the person performance also includes
Oh,
in the calculation of your ROI, because you have a guarantee of 6 months. So this person must perform in order for you to get your investment.
Okay.
But
I see. Okay.
times when we comes to support function, how do you measure the performance in quantified it? For sales, I think is easy, right? But for support function, how do you do that?
Actually, for recruitment, let's say for the agency, like for Mr. Indra, so the numbers that you will need to get is, let's say for example, so in a month, how many recruitments you need to get in a, let's say in a month. So how many positions you need to fill in. So did you get your target positions that you need to fill in a given deadline? Because for this type of recruitments, so okay, in 1 month, you need to give me this person, the quality personnel, right? So you cannot just hire just to fill in the position, but of course, you want to protect the reputation. You will find someone who is qualified for the position in a
Yeah.
certain timeline. So if you beat the deadline, so it means you can get a higher score, right? So you can rate yourself. But if you go beyond the timeline, then when you calculate your return of investment, then it will be a bit low because of the timeline. Because one factor also is the timeline recruitment,
Timeline.
the timeline in the recruitment. So the longer you take to find a person, so the more money you spend,
Yeah.
the less return of investment you get.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any input on this question? Any input?
This is a very big question.
Yes.
But because of the time, I would suggest to let participants in other breakout room or to talk about the discussion of findings.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Who would like to share?
Thank you very much, everyone.
You're welcome. Who would like to share? Susan, would like to share some of your findings in the discussion? Some of the, yeah, Susan?
Hello, I can hear. And we will want to find someone, like you said, sales will easy to about this, but I think not the sales. We always too difficult to find sales manager or sales engineer. It's difficult to find this, such as financial or supply department or customer service will easy. So we will, yeah, it's different for us. So, but we will find that sales use hunter.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But we have the rules. You must hire about more than 30% 30% sales, we have to use the hunter. If the sales fee will, if the service fee will less than 30%, we cannot use. So that's very difficult to find. We cannot use hunter, and we have to find the sales engineer in the internet. It's very, very difficult. Maybe we will find this person or someone more than half 1 years.
Yeah, that's right. Recruitment is a big topic, especially we are now lacking of talents in the market, right? I believe that every company is really looking for good talent, looking for talents to work for them. There's always a shortage of talent, especially when you mentioned about salespeople, right? It's very difficult to find salespeople. The other day when I was in a meeting with the other management is, oh, if this person is so good in sales, if he has already set up his own company, why would he be an employee for your company if he's very good at sales and he can actually have connections and network, and he can start his own company. So I think in some cases it's very true. It depends on the capital that you have invested in setting a company and so forth, and also the industry that you are in. But I think it's a big topic about recruitment, especially on attracting talents to join your company. But anyway, so any other input about the questions that we discussed in the breakout sessions, like key challenges, ways to overcome it, and also if you could start over, what would you do it differently? Anybody to share on this? Let us back to this HR digitalization topic. Anybody would like to share?
Miss Rita, we chose Miss Eva to represent us in our discussion in the breakout room.
Okay, Eva.
Yeah. Thank you, Marie. Thanks, Rita. So our group consists of Rachel, Suzanne, Thea, Marie, and myself. We talked about and we shared a lot of things about the challenges that we have when we're digitizing the HR process and platforms that we have, and how to overcome that. I'll break it down by one by one. So the first one is actually the scattered digital platforms that we have. In the organization that I work for, it's around 90% of all the work that has been digitalized. I can say that. But the challenge is that it's very scattered. We have one for performance, one digital app for performance, and also one for compensation benefits. We also have one for recruitment. We also have one for the learning and development. So it's very scattered. So that's the challenge that we have. And so how to overcome that? Every time we have initiatives or programs that we would like to roll out to employees, we try not to go too far away from those platforms that we already have. Because the more we try to explore other platforms, then the more it'll be scattered in the end. And it's really not good for the employees, because again, what we would like them, in a perfect world, we want employees to just get one thing in their hands at the tip of their fingers, and then they can just click it and they can go to whatever they want to do there. That's the in the perfect world, that's the idea. But that's not what we have. But we try to go there. And so in order to do that, we also need to get or gather information or data or feedback from our employees to hear what they think about the digital platforms that we have. So that's two things that we try to do to overcome the challenges. And another challenge, this is from the experience from Rachel. It's about the cost and functions. Like there are so many varieties of HRIS in the market, but we're not sure, and the price is never the guarantee. Like the higher price does not mean that it's better or is the best, right? So for Rachel, her organization is still trying to explore more powerful HRIS platforms so that they will choose the best, or the best one with having a friendly user HR, and also for her organizations. And As for the experience from Thea and Marie, it's actually the language barrier that caused the challenges, because not many colleagues there speak English or know about the functions in their language. So that language barrier has been the challenge. The way for Marie and Thea overcome this challenge is actually to work with the HR team to also learn more about about the systems, having a system training by inviting a vendor that made the platform to help the HR team to get trained with the system, and also practice, because Marie and Thea and I also believe that practice in the end will make things better, because we can get used to the system better and faster. And the last one is actually from Susan's experience. She talked about the HRIS system that she had before, or the current one that she's having right now. But somehow this HRIS is not really helping her team, because at the end of the day, she still has to do a lot of manual work, more work to do. So she and organization are thinking, so what's the point of having an HRIS system when it's not really efficient? So what she's trying to do right now is actually to consider to changing the app. So she's still trying to figure out what kind of app that's available that is also suitable for her organization. That's all from our group. Thank you.
Okay, anybody want to add? Mr. Bamban, especially for the first question, is quite staggered. They have their own individual module for recruitment, a separate one for performance, management, and so forth. What is your input on this one?
Yeah, sometimes we are facing this situation because we decided differently. Each our function can only be managed by a certain platform. For example, I also experience now we have different platform. For one of HR administration, for example, in leave management, we actually have a global system provided by our headquarters from Germany, but we cannot implement into Indonesia. So we decided a local platform. Yeah, the challenge was there that we have to explain to our managers who are foreigners. They have to understand our local policy here in Indonesia. For example, they don't recognize long leave as we have in Indonesia. In Indonesia, of employee working 6 years, in the 7 years they will have a long leave for 20 days leave. And German policy doesn't have that regulation, so we cannot use that platform. Yeah, maybe this common problem that we are facing here when we implement not only one system, but the most important thing that we have to able to utilize, and it's possible interconnection between platform. And yes, that's my feedback, Rita.
Okay, so any inputs to the challenges being faced by this that they mentioned by this group? Any input, especially on the ways of overcoming the challenges that they mentioned, although they did come up with their own suggestions?
From my team, maybe Mr. Sangha from Cambodia, can you share your, what you face now?
Okay. I think my team also discussing on the challenging, and current who are working for the healthcare sectors, are also looking for the payroll and leave management system for his company. Currently, he are using the system called Do system for Belgium, but it seemed like not workable well. So he also trying to find the another system which is more reliable. Comment from Hong Kong. See also in the pharmacies sectors using the HR system, but the HR system seem like not helpful because she also need to do the manually, and also the data generated from the system is not correctly. And that is a challenging that system doesn't have. It's make more works to the users. Elsa from Indonesia, the challenging for her is the employee capability on using the system. So it's not mean that system giving an employee experiences, but the system giving a hard time for employee. So meaning that it forces people to use the system which is not comfortable. For my side, I think it's a comments that we are facing in our group, and I think it's probably in other country as well, that the employee capability on moving forward to the digitalization is still challenging. But the solution that I have raised in the group is we can considering to buy in the idea from the stakeholder by implement stage by stage. So example, like if the operation, they have a challenging on the leave and attendant, we also can implement first to operation team. And then if they have the experience using it well, and then we also can use this as the point to convincing the other department that have pulled to the management, the managers, the head department, that the system is beneficial to them. And then they can try to use, and then we can move from one module to another module, from one department to another department. Because if the stakeholder, they doesn't buy in, they may convincing the management back to hold the system that we are implemented to roll it out. Because our purpose is not to force them to use the system, but we would like them to experience that the digitalization is helping them. Then we need to show them how the system helping them. Then I think it's also time and stage and the knowledge and also the capability of the people inside open more wisely to accept it. And then we can start implement stage by stage. For me and our company now, we are moving to the cloud system. So of course, there also a resistance that security, hack, globalize, and so on. A lot of questions come to us as the project leader and the community. And then we are trying to convince them on the issue of the security that we have explored, supported by the IT department that are giving us more critical supported idea. And then we also engaging some of the head department that have challenging currently. And then they will show that this challenging can be solved by the system. I think even now we are asking COVID situation is impacting the company, but the top management still can give us a green light that we also still consider give us a green light to go ahead on that. So I think it's all that effort of our community and stakeholder that are understanding the stage that digitalization is very important for them. So it's depend on us whether we would like to go now, or we also can spend more time to, I think, to understand on the process, and then we can foresee the challenging when we are rolled it out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or input in regards to what Mr. Senha just shared with us? Okay, let's move on to the final group. Mr. Satel, can you share with us on some of the key challenges that you mentioned in the meeting? Hello, Mr. Satel.
Yeah, here. In our group we had Rita and Nkakada and myself. Unfortunately, we couldn't hear from Nkakada about his challenges, but my challenges was firstly, when we prepared any particular system or software, the personnel we involved in were not up to the mark, and uh, the feedback that we received from him about the workflow designing and everything, that was not up to the mark. So we face challenges and we have to return and fix it again. So these things happen when we create a particular workflow design. We always need to take inputs from people who understand the entire process. One, and another is who are tech savvy and can see and forecast on how the changes will impact. So this is one thing, one challenge that we faced. Another is we had an issue with a particular age group, people from mostly from 50 within 60, that they were less adaptable to changes, and they didn't want to uh, learn the new ways or adopt to the new system. So that was another challenge that we faced, and we fixed it by providing one-to-one sessions and on-the-job trainings along the way, so that they can adopt easily and understand the bigger picture. That was from our side.
Okay, any question or input to what just Mr. Satil has shared? No? Okay, so it seems that we have already talked enough about our key challenges, right? So Mr. Bamban, can you give us some of the tips, okay? When we start on working on this digital project, some of the tips that we have to consider, and then on all the tips in relation to along the way, what we have to pay attention to. And then towards the end of after the project has been completed, what sort of things that we have to attend to? Can you just give up some tips so that we will consider before, during, and after?
Yeah, maybe I will continue my presentation first, Rita, because it will cover
Sure.
your question.
Yeah. Maybe we can find the questions in your presentation, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you, Rita. So I will continue with my presentation. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I will talk about when we start the digital HR. So this is the first step that when we consider or will decide why we should transform from manual into digital. First, if we have the significant headcount increase, with a significant headcount increase will make HR more complicated in their day-to-day job. So we can start and propose as an HR, we can propose to the management the possibility to transform the manual into digital. The other things also personal file. Manual administration increase also will make HR will a complex day-to-day job. By using the digitalization, now my company can use the cloud server to save our employee data. So we can save the space in our office building, and I will share about the security of our personal file. Is it safe if we record this file into cloud servers? So is there any tips or clue how to can be a section of this activity? And then we also consider when employee spread and demography become large and large, so we have to consider the possibility to transform from manual into digital as well. And my role now as a country SR, we cover our employee all in 34 province in Indonesia and also in Thailand. So yeah, I was thinking at the time How if we utilize the digital platform to save our job and also to speed our service to our employee. Now we have succeeded to implement the payroll system, leave management system. It's quite different when we still do the manual system. Employee have to submit manually, send the documentation by post or by GN in Indonesia, and then HR will validate. And if any question, we will call the employee about the document correctness, and then we finally to confirm whether this document is can be accepted or not. It will take time, but when we convert this into digital, employee may submit by digital, scan the documentation, and then we can validate anywhere in Indonesia. I can validate the document that's submitted by employee when I was at home. That's easy. And also it will take short time to decide. And also most of us has to the mindset change for the digital implementation. Otherwise, if no mindset change in our mind, then it's very difficult to convert this manual into the digital. So we have to have the same mindset that now is the era of digital technology. And then yes, we have to think how to be successful in HR digitalization. First, we have to set up the strategy. We have to describe and set up the strategy and also define the goals of this HR transformation. Yeah, otherwise we don't have guidance when we have an idea, but we don't have a guidance to deliver this planning. For example, HR can have idea to transform HR from manual into digital. But if HR doesn't have a strategy or cannot define the goals, then it will be useless or will face any difficulty to make it happen. And the most important thing also, we have to set up the project team. If we are talking about the HR digitalization, we cannot say only HR will involve. You have to invite your IT person, your finance person, because they have the money data, and also HR team together, sitting together, and we set up into project team. And also very important during the project team meeting, we have to decide the technology platform that we are going to use. For example, if you have a big or qualified or strong IT person, then you can develop your platform by your own. But now out there, there are many platforms offered by the vendors. You can decide. For example, we have LinkedIn. LinkedIn can support us to do the hiring process. We have the Open Hire. We have Cleans. We have also Recruiter. This is a Asian company, startup Asian company for recruitment. Yeah, actually we can decide whether this platform can support our process or not. And also we have to be transparent when we start the transformation. Yeah, otherwise, if we are not transparent, then employee will not know why we should use this platform. In my last breakup session, one of participants said that Ms. Elsa said that the problem comes from the employee itself because they cannot understand or they cannot know how to use the system. Yeah. During this setup, we have to inform and we have to be communicative to our employees, invite them, explain to them. Or if you have a big numbers of employees, then you can deliver maybe to the supervisor or the leader, and then they can communicate to their team. And also important that we have to have a mindset that we can do. Everything can be done. Once you are not confident to conduct or to implement any system, then you will face problem in your side. But if you have a can-do mindset, it will be easy. Error is error, but you can solve and you can discuss with your partner if you are facing a problem during the implementation. I also faced the same thing when we just start the implementation of SR payroll system. We are facing the problem that we have many tax regulation and almost change every year. Like this year, we have to set up the tax holiday for Indonesian employees. And yeah, if we have the can-do mindset, then it's easier for us to solve this situation by inviting the vendors that develop the system, and we ask them to fix, and we ask them to fulfill the requirement from the government. So yeah, we can say that HR has to be communicative to each other and being transparent. So it will make us easy life. And then why I talk about the system security? Sometimes if employee will be given a new system, and also in our company side, we have to consider the system security, how we can implement the cloud system in our company. We have to check with our IT. For example, I will share my experience. Before we decide to put our data in cloud, I will involve IT person from headquarters and also local IT regarding the compliance and also the secure transmission that the vendor will provide. And also, this is important to check directly, physically to the vendors, how they put their servers. Then our IT will decide whether this is comply or not. And also, we have to consider the password policy that we are going to use. Should be a multi-character, and also should decide the minimum character of the text. We have to use the authentication model, for example, using SMS when we want to change the password or we want to enter the system. And also collaboration from HR, IT, finance, and developer will make this project that happen smoothly. And also there are many false thoughts during implementation, and we have to communicate to our employee that to our management also that SR Digital is not only for companies with a lot of employees. In my company, we have, I manage 5 different legal entity in Indonesia and Thailand. One of company only consists 10 employees. Should they use this platform? I say yes, because no matter the headcount amount, but digital SR will help them to get their service as soon as they request. And also, some false thought that SR Digital will put SR out of a job. That's not correct, because by digitalizing SR process, then some job will be reduced. For example, collecting manual document data, and also validation. Usually we have to sit down and read the physical document. Now using the digital platform, we don't need just facing the screen in our laptop, then we can decide. And also some people say that digital SR will add more workload. At the beginning, yes, people or employee will think that, well, I should have to enter this platform. So their mind that say that it will add more workload. But when we can explain that actually this will help them to get the service from a company, so yeah, it would be easy for them to accept. And also the mindset from some management that it is very expensive investment for a company. Yeah, I cannot say that expensive or high cost investment will make a barrier for some company. But yes, sometimes if we choose the global brand, then we have to spend more money. But again, just let management to decide. And also mindset that SR digital means to buy more PC. This is also not correct. For example, here in my company, we have operators level. We do not provide laptop or email. We can decide one PC we put into our canteen. They can use together for applying leave, annual leave. And also now most people are using mobile phone. So we also put the platform into a mobile phone, like for in iPhone or in Android. And there's some advantage digital transformation. Yeah, it's better analytic result for DNI. Also efficient and compliant practice, and also it can become the strategic role for HR leader, because we can present the data by downloading the data from HR system, and then yeah, also yeah, we will be very smart in the recruitment process, payroll, and other benefit service to employee, because yeah, it will more easy to us to get resources from outside, yeah, using this HR digital. And there are some vendors outside there. Again, I'm not promoting this company, but at least I have experience with this brand. But yeah. Okay, Mr. Enkla, yeah, you raised hand. I think any question?
That's okay, Mr. Bambang. You can go ahead and then you can finish it, and then I will ask the questions after your presentation.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, there are many vendors here. For me, our platform are good. It depends on how capable we can use the platform. For example, when we use the workday system, yeah, I experienced kick-offing the workday system 10 years ago. Yeah, we have to set up and collect all data among Asia Pacific countries. And the problem that we are facing, yeah, Workday as a big company at the time, we are facing new platform that we have to introduce to our employee. Because actually before we implementing Workday, we have already SAP. Then we stop the SAP, we change to the Workday because yeah, it's about the competition. And then also the other local vendor like Gaji ID, we are using Gaji ID now in my company. I said that all platform actually good as long as we can use. So if we are facing our employee difficult to use the platform, yeah, we need to invite the vendors, or we can as a SR can explain or communicate how to utilize the vendor. I think that's all from my side, Rita, for this today training. Maybe any other question? Just yep.
So we see.
Sorry. Mr. Kakada, you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Rita, and also thank you to Mr. Babang. That is a great sharing from you, and so that is very interesting one. And so I have several questions. And for your own company, how much do you pay for the applications for your HR system? And so, what are the most challenges that you face so far when you install that applications, and also your, the process in your company as well? And I also saw on your slide that you mentioned that it's very easy, and that application provide you the very smartest way in recruitment process. Could you more elaborate with that one? And so I would like to know about more features that the system could provide to you with that one. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Babang.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I will speed up because the time is already finished. Yes. Before I implement one platform in our company, we actually have invested. About
you have to make your
yeah, about $10,000 just for payroll system.
Wow, 100,000 US.
Wow, $100,000 for only payroll system.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah,
Wow.
before me. Yeah. Sorry, 10,000. Sorry.
10,000.
10,000. Oh, okay.
Sorry. No. 50. Let me convert into US.
Yeah, you have to make the conversion in US.
Almost $70,000 only for one platform for a payroll system. I did not make the name, but when I joined this company, I decided to convert to other platform with only not more than $1,000. It's very cheap. And my management also did not realize and also surprised. How can you do that? First, the old platform I cannot use because nobody still in the office. So I have to consider to deliver our service as a new SR at the time. So I decided, okay, I want to change. I will not use this once you agree, then I will continue the process. But if you push me to use the platform, I will invite, and it will take a long time. Okay, and then regarding the smarter process, that why we can have a smarter process for each function. Now out there we have yeah, maybe some of you know the astronaut. This is a video interview platform. It's a US company, and we are using that platform to conduct interview without inviting the candidates to come to the office. I just record my my introduction as a company recruiter, and then I put into the platform, and then candidate has to answer and talking with the gadget. This is very easy. And other platform also we have like many platform, because I'm not promoting or not selling one product to you, but yeah, you can privately send message to me. I will give the links.
Okay, good. So how about Eva? You have questions for Mr. Bambang?
Yeah, Pak Bambang, just one last question for me. How do we measure that the HR transformation, the HR digital transformation is successful? How do we measure that?
Yeah, when we can succeed implementing this SR platform, and people can use the new system, and also no barrier or no difficulty from our users, that it can be said that it will success. This is simple actually. Once you have a rejection, a lot of rejection from your employee, I can say we did not success. That's all. So the most important thing is the communication to our employee. For example, we have a strong union, labor union here. I know with this facing the strong union, labor union, I have to communicate every time until they understand. We have to explain, okay, this new system you can use by your mobile phone. So it's very easy. So yeah, communication is the most important thing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Pak Bambang and Rita.
Okay, so any questions for Mr. Bambang before we conclude the session? Okay, while Mr. Bambang was presenting, I have quickly gone through the expectation list that we put together at the beginning of the session. Basically, we have covered all the points that you have mentioned. And so did I miss out anything, especially on your expectation that you cannot fulfill in these two days, in these two sessions? Just feel free to bring it up now. Because we cover the tips, the strategies on how to make it a success, and also some of the factors that we have to consider when we implement the policy, when we implement the system and so forth. And
yeah, I had a question.
Yes, Mr. Satil, yes.
I would like to have some tips from Mr. Bambang that the companies who are now operating in manual system, how do they transform to a digitized system? What is the process of transforming to a system? Did you get the question?
Say again.
Signal is not very good.
Can you question Mr. Satil?
Yeah, sure. I was asking that if any company does not have any particular system ensured right now and they're operating manually, how do they create a system using digital platforms? What are the processes, or what are the way forwards?
Moving from a manual system to a digitalized or the automatic system.
From a complete manual system to a digital, much more digitized or automatic system.
Yeah, how do they do it? Mr. Bamban, what are the
Yeah.
tips?
Yes, actually, I experienced also in the past when I process everything using the Microsoft Excel, calculating the payroll using Excel file, and also processing the text using the Excel file. And yeah, we have to be communicative to the management when we will start to transform. So the most important thing from our side is to communicate to our management that we are now facing the workload. So we have to consider to convert into digital. That's I did in the past when we start to convert from manual or to change the previous HR platform into the new platform. The key point is the communication.
Okay, very good. Any other questions before we close the session? If no, then okay. So that has concluded our 2 sessions on this subject, human resources digitalization, especially on the workflows and so forth. And then coming up, we will have a mentoring on the same topic, which is scheduled on the 18th of June, Thursday at 9 o'clock p.m. Hong Kong time. So I will send out the schedule to every one of you so that you can attend it. But this is an optional one, okay? So if you have any question, concerns, especially in the implementation and so forth, just save this question and then we can have a further and in-depth discussion with Mr. Bamban. And also we can also find good answers from our team as well. Okay, so just save this date and we'll meet together on this topic. And I just want to let you know the link that you have access to this platform is the same for every session. So I'm not going to send it to you every time. Just save this link and it's valid for all the sessions that we have for this HR certification program. Okay, it's the same link every time. Okay, even for the mentoring, same link. Okay. Okay, so that's all for the digital digitalization. And the next module is something different from system. We are moving from system to something related to employees relations, because I think this is always a headache, right? For all the human resources professionals to deal with human issues, staff issues, labor issues. And then in our next module, we are having a very experienced HR professional, Max, who works in Standard Chartered Bank in Malaysia, to share with us some of his stories. He's an expert in dealing with employees' relations, in handling staff issues, and so forth. And he already sent me some of the case studies for all of you to do some homework before we meet together next Saturday. Is that next Saturday? Let me check. Let me check. It's next Saturday. Yes, we'll be meeting next Saturday, same time, for another module on how to deal with disciplinary action. Okay, it's a quite difficult word to pronounce. Disciplinary action, and how to improve our employees' relations. Okay, so Max will be there, but before that, I will send out some of the case studies so that everybody can take a look and then discuss it. Okay, so that session. So that module would be highly interactive because we have lots of stories to tell, to listen, and how to tackle all these challenging things. Okay. So I have got one hand. Question?
Yeah, I just have one tips, and can we make a web chat to make together with us, and we can discuss
yeah, we have
yeah. So
okay, then I ask everybody if they have WeChat accounts. So we have to put everybody on Mr. Bamban does, okay, because we have everybody on Telegram. We have left you out because you are from China and you have no access to Telegram. So we cannot penalize you, right? Okay, okay. Can everybody just ask everybody for a favor to set up your WeChat?
Yeah.
Okay, so that we can include Susan in the chat. Is it okay for all of you?
So let's install the powerful WeChat.
Yeah. If no objections, I'll collect the written ID from every one of you so that we can set up a okay. And okay, so Susan, can you mute yourself? I think I heard some background noise. Okay. Okay, so that's all for my introduction for today, especially on this module that we are going to have on employees relations, and a lot of stories to listen to, a lot of great tips from the speakers and also from you guys on how to handle challenging labor issues. Okay. And so
Let's
that's
take a photo.
anything to say?
We,
Oh,
we,
we already taken a photo, a screenshot of the picture here, and also as I mentioned at the beginning of the session, we are having a session on COVID-19, how HR prepares for the new normal, okay, which is scheduled at 3 o'clock Hong Kong time today, and all the speakers are the founders or presidents of the different associations in Asia. I think it's a very good chance for us to know more about how we prepare ourselves well for the near future, or even it happens now. Okay, so I hope to see you again. You see you all again at 3 o'clock p.m. Hong Kong time, and that's all for me. And have a nice weekend. Thank you. Bye bye.
hey, take a good photo, Rita.
Take a good photo. Okay.
Okay,
So-
take a photo.
So may I ask everybody to put your face closer to the video camera?
Give your appreciation to Mr. Bamban as well. Have a waving hands to him.
Thank you.
To him, yeah.
So Rita, could you take a photo?
Okay, now, okay, smile. Good. Okay, I just took a photo. I'll share with all of you. Okay. So I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Bambang. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Baban.
Thank you,
See you
everyone.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Pak Bambang.
Thanks,
See you,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you.